Perfect. Hi, Miss Super-Greene. How are you?
I'm good, Emma. How are you? Oh,
Good. I'm super excited to talk to you today. So,
I'm excited you guys asked me. I feel like I need to put my glasses on and feel
yes,
very official today.
yeah, exactly. So, our first question for you is we would love if you could tell us a little bit more about the school you were at before you came to LW.
Oh, okay. So, this is actually the fourth high school that I've been at in my education career, but it's the second high school I've been at here in the state of Washington. I came from Colorado before that. I was over at Kingston High School before here, which is over on the peninsula, as you guys know, the good old Kingston Edmonds Ferry. So Kingston, as you guys know, is much smaller. And so the total student population there, I think last year was 562, which
Wow.
I think is like your guys' whole freshman class this year.
Yeah.
So it was very small, close knit. Everybody knew everybody, like your very typical small town, like y'all know everybody's business.
Yeah.
Everybody knows your business.
Yeah, exactly.
Which comes with its pros and cons, right? Like you really, as a member of the school community, you get to know every kid and everybody. You get to know everybody really well, and so it feels like a family. Um, and so that was really nice. And I was there for 3 years. My husband was over there too, and he was the tennis coach. So again, like feels like family.
Yeah.
Somebody forgets their tennis racket or something like that. My husband's lending out a tennis racket, and I'm tracking
Oh,
him down in algebra to be like, you know, hey Carson, here's your tennis racket.
yeah.
Your mom also dropped off your lunch.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So it's a small community, but it was a lot of fun.
That
It was
is
really good. It was a good
cool.
experience.
Love that. Okay, so what motivated you to accept an admin job at LW?
So again, it was my husband started working for a distribution company, and when he started working for that particular company, it's a job where you are traveling a lot, but kind of in a local area. And his local area at the time when he took the job was over on the peninsula, but then they promoted him, and he started working over on this side of the water more. And as you know, that sometimes is a part of life in this area. Like you commute and you do the ferry commute and all of that. But um, the ferry commute was a lot. And so he was away from home a lot. And my husband is delightful and I like spending time with him. And so we kind of made the choice of, we can move over to this side and just spend more time together. And then COVID hit.
Yeah.
And my husband was one of those people that got furloughed. And so he got furloughed and he lost his job. But we were already kind of deep in this process of applying for jobs over here. And I had already gotten an interview with LDub. And as I got the interview with LDub and I got to know the school and the people through the interview, I was like, man, that is a place that I want to be.
Yeah.
And so we just made the decision to kind of take the plunge and come over here, which was kind of crazy because I swear, Emma, the week after we moved into our new house,
Yeah.
his old job was calling him up and be like, hey, you want to go back to work? So
Oh,
it was fate that we ended up here. So
so
um,
good.
it was a good decision for us.
Yeah. So glad you got that vibe off LW.
Yeah.
Okay. What are your specific areas of responsibility at LW?
So I am primarily the ninth grade administrator. So I take on all of our lovely little freshies. And then I will roll up with them as they grow into sophomores and juniors. I also oversee um, Avid, and I need to look at my list because there's a lot. I also oversee Avid. Right now, I'm doing a lot of tech support with our teachers. I oversee our social media accounts. Um, Please be kind and graceful on that because we're working on it. It's hard to do with no students in the building. Like normally that would have you guys all over it. And then I'm working really closely with Link Crew because Link Crew and freshmen are so tied together. So I'm working really closely with Mr. Grundle, and then Homeroom. I'm working very closely with KANG News and Homeroom and all of that. So amongst many, many other things.
Awesome. So you have a big load on your plate.
Yes, but you'll find that all of us as administrators, we try to split things up.
Mhm.
But yes, we're all working very hard.
Yes. Okay, so what are you looking forward to for this year? I know it looks a little bit different, but what are some things you're looking forward to?
Um, I as much as everybody says like this all looks very different and it is stressful. Change is really hard. And I think change in the education specifically is really difficult because it's been the same for so long.
Oh yeah.
It's seen its fair share of like small tweaks and small changes as we've moved along, but really, I had my 20-year class reunion last year,
Mhm.
and it essentially hasn't changed
Yeah.
since then. But this is the year. This is the year that a lot of things have changed, and not only because of COVID, but because of a lot of the racial injustice and the social unrest and all of those things that are happening in our society right now. And so 2020 seems to be the impetus of change. And so that is what I'm looking for. It literally gives me goosebumps. Like, I am really looking forward to all of the good that can come out of the challenges and the obstacles that this year has put in front of us. It's not easy because change is not easy, but it can be so good for a system that needs to be changed.
Yeah.
And it's a system that you guys as students have been begging us for change for so long. And it's about darn time that we responded to that.
Exactly. I think some change is always a little bit good.
Yes.
And- Okay, so I hear that you're super into social media, as we know. So what would be your favorite platform and why?
Um, I recently had to delete TikTok off my phone because I just am addicted to
Yeah,
TikTok.
I think everyone is at this point.
God. And only because like I post nothing on TikTok. Like it's just such a I feel like TikTok is such a positive place to be right now because and there's so many different places you can find yourself on TikTok because of the way that the algorithm is set up, right? And so like somehow I found myself in this really positive and optimistic place in TikTok and I was just like, "Oh, I love it here." And then I would find myself like staying up entirely too late, just like filling my cup with all this positive TikTok stuff. And then I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like it's got to be deleted because like it's just too much screen time for me. So I love personally just like scrolling through TikTok just to be, I don't know, just to feel optimistic and like restore some faith in humanity. But I also love Instagram just because how visual Instagram can be. Um, and I think that it's such a creative outlet and it has been for a lot of people for a long time. So I love Instagram too, just for the visual and creative outlet that it provides for people. And I think it's a great outlet for us as an organization and as a school to make sure that we're reaching all of you guys and making sure that you're getting the messages and the notifications that you guys need to get as well.
I think a lot of students can relate with you on that. I find myself using TikTok as a getaway all the time. It's just my getaway.
Am I wrong that it's like the most positive social
Oh,
media venue right now?
it honestly is. I love it. It's so
Oh,
good. It's so
I
good.
know. It's only been deleted off my phone for like 24 hours and I
You're like,
like
I want it back.
it's so bad.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, so my final question for you is
Okay, I'm ready.
I would like you to describe your perfect meal.
Oh,
Anything you want, perfection to you.
okay. Well, I'm gonna tell you that varies from day to day because I am in love with food.
Yes.
Um, but I would say right now, my husband makes like the bomb ribs, and
Ooh,
he hasn't made them in a while. And so, like right now, I would say if he made ribs right now, I would that would be like the thing. So, because they're like fall off the bone and super saucy and just make a whole mess. The
exactly.
kind you don't want to eat in public.
Yeah. Those
right?
are so
So
good.
yeah, ribs and like you don't even mess with the sides. Like you just fill yourself up on ribs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Just ribs with lots of sauce. Mwah,
Oh,
mwah.
sounds so good right now,
I
honestly.
That's
That's
a great
awesome.
question.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for letting us ask you a few questions today. We're so excited to have you at LW.
Well, thanks, Emma.